I'm here. I'm here. Oh my goodness. I couldn't find my microphone because, God bless him, my husband was trying to find me a specific cord, and our cord bin, do you have one of those, is out in my studio. And it's like a raccoon was digging through the bin. Now I know it was just my husband, but I have cords all over the place now, and they were all tangled up and in my stuff. So it is the first Tuesday of the month, and we have a project recipe. Now, I probably threw everybody because I went live on Friday on Facebook just to show the cool little tool that Creative Memories is hopefully coming out with in 2026. But I think I probably threw people. But I figured since we're not really sure if that tool is coming out, it's okay that Facebook deletes it in 30 days, that video. But here I am on YouTube. And I imagine that there's several of you, because some of you have already been texting me, that are like, where is she? We got to remind her. And we can't find her. I'm over here on YouTube. But if you're watching me, whether later or live or whatever, welcome. And thanks for being here. I'm excited about this project recipe because I'm actually going to incorporate the new little hopefully coming tool into this page. So that should be exciting. And of course, do a great project recipe. And if you've not done project recipe with me before, you'll want to go to DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com, sign up for this event. You'll have till 4:30 Eastern time, so you'll have an hour and a half from now, or an hour and 23 minutes to sign up, and that way you get the PDF of the recipe we are doing today. So you can either wait till after or do it now. And as I usually do, I am doing a retreat. It was fun to print these pictures because this was a retreat. I don't normally do a retreat right at the beginning of January, but we had a hurricane hit in October of 2022, and so this was January 2023, and we had to just like pick up the whole retreat and move it out a couple months because Mount Dora was like flooding. I mean, the hotel, everything was fine. I figured it would be. I figured if you have one of the oldest hotels in the state of Florida, think of all the hurricanes that it has survived. So I figured the hotel would be fine, and the Lakeside Inn was. And so those are the pictures I'm going to be working on today. Let's get on with our announcements here. Free shipping still happening right now at Creative Memories. That is until Friday at noon. Is that the 5th? I feel discombobulated, as I'm sure you do. That's why probably everyone's like, what day is it? Why is she live? It's Monday. No, it's Tuesday. Super Scrappy August. Oh, let's do this drawing. Let's see. I think possibly. Let's see. All right. Well, all right. We're gonna try it. Let's. Is it? Oh. Okay. Good. All right. So hopefully you're seeing this. What did I do with my phone? I want to make sure that you are seeing this right now. It always gets a little wild. Okay, good. All right, so let's see. These are shuffled. So how you got entered into this was you got one entry for every $25 you spend, and that was with me on my Creative Memories website, or on my of course this says Techie Tuesday. I knew, hold on. Let's see. Hide. No, we don't want to hide that. What do I want to hide? Alright, well, it's not going to let me. Why is this off the screen? There we go. Alright. Not that you need to see the back side of this, but okay, here we are back. Didn't want to confuse everyone. So, more than I already have today. You got an entry for every $25 you spent on my Creative Memories website and also on my Daytona area scrapbooking. So if you purchased a shirt for an upcoming event, you got a ticket. And so if you spent over 100, then you already got your you already received $10. And so whoever wins this right now will actually receive an extra 25. And for some reason now I don't see. Okay, I do see me. All right, ready? So let's see who our lucky winner is, shall we? And it's Shelby. Congratulations, Shelby. Woohoo! So Shelby is our lucky winner. And back to, here we go. So congratulations, Shelby. I will make myself a note and I will let her know that she is the winner. You did not need to be present to win. And we've got a lot of fun coming up this month with some, oh, I still haven't given my $10 to one of my card kit subscribers. So all y'all that are card kit subscribers, you need to check for a little red ticket and go to July card kit class and see if you are the winner. I should pull up the picture of, I think I have a picture on my phone of the winning ticket. So let's see, because now it's September. This was the end of July, pretty sure. Yes, the winning ticket is 833-9995. So if that is your ticket number, then you're the winner. Take a picture of you holding that ticket and text it to me, and I will get you some CM credits so you can take some money off your next order. All right, so next Tuesday we will have a live sale right here, and that benefits the Cannonballs for Cane Foundation. So that is that is a let me see if I can, without really messing, just want to slide this up a little bit. I can't really see my slides. There, that's a little better. So we'll have a live sale. If you've participated before, we will I will show products. These products are old Creative Memories. Most of them are new in package that people just aren't going to use, or maybe they were slightly used punches or not going to use anymore, or a family member stopped scrapbooking and gave them all of their stuff. So this stuff comes to me from a different variety of ways, but the whole idea is that when they donate to me, I use it for our fundraiser events. And we have one coming up in a couple weeks. And so if you purchase, you can pick it up at the upcoming crop, or I can ship it to you for a small fee, since all the money is none of it's coming to me. All of it was donated. All of it is going to Cannonballs for Cane. But if you live out of the area and you'd like something, then I'll just charge you what it costs me to ship it to you. All right, and then we have Scrapbook Club on September 11th. So that's not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. at 6:30 in Port Orange. And if you didn't buy out the whole year, you can still join us and do the September club kit 2-page spread. Tool time is in a couple weeks. That's the 16th, and we're going to go through 3 of the new punches. The new chrysanthemum punch is part of the Croptoberfest items. Croptoberfest has a whole fun chrysanthemum theme. More on that in a second. So we are 80% full for the Crop for Gray and Gold. Few seats left. So if you would like to attend, we'd love to have you. All the money, when you go to Daytona Area Scrapbooking and you click on the event, it'll actually redirect you to the cannonballs.org website, and that is where you will actually make your donation. So none of the registration money comes back, it comes to me at all, and so that all goes straight to the foundation. Oh, why didn't that change? That is supposed to have the Crop for Gray and Gold shirt. Hold, please. Let's see what's going on here. Well, if you go to the store, you will see the Crop for Gray and Gold shirt. If you go to DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com, it has the gray and gold logo, the hands with the brain, with the heart. But it's a darker gray this year. There's nothing with a date on the shirt, but it's a dark gray, and we've added a splash of teal to the back, where it says Cannonballs for Cane Foundation. So it's going to look really sharp. So especially if you don't like that ash color, the lighter gray. I'm wearing a really old version of this shirt. But the gray is even darker than this. But it is a heather like this, where it's kind of that multi color. So Techie Tuesday on the 23rd, also at 3. The 28th, Ride the Rails. This is a digital crop. I just have 3 seats left for this. We are capping it for our first time at 8. So there's 5 people signed up. There's room for 3 more. So if you are thinking about coming, you should sign up. And I get the tickets, so your ticket cost is included in the price. Croptoberfest, 17th and 18th. Now let's see if the Croptoberfest shirt is here. No, what happened to my shirt? All right, so hopefully you saw, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday, I posted both of the new shirts. They are so cute. I can't believe that it didn't make it into the slideshow for whatever reason, but it says the shirt says "Buy all the paper, Mum's the word," and it has like a vintage woman doing like this, and it has mums in front of her. It's super cute. And then on the back it says ladies never share the size of their friend's paper supply, or something like that, or ladies never discuss the size of their friend's scrapbook paper supply. I mean, I designed the shirt and I can't remember what it is. Anyway, it's super fun and I can't wait to do that. There's some other designs going around, other advisors, and you know, I just wanted to do something that wasn't like, because you know, I'm in Florida, so we love the fall thing, but we don't get to participate in traditional fall things. So you see the little mums here. Mums are the theme this year, and I thought, well, that's a fun way to use mums. They're on the shirt. It's kind of like a light lavender shirt because one of the colors is purple. Anyway, I'm just going on and on about the shirts. Okay, I think we're done with announcements, and we can jump into Project Recipe. And you can see I have some of these new dies. Now, if you missed the memo, Creative Memories had a special advisor vote box and I did a little video on Friday with this cute new little die cut / embossing machine that Creative Memories is coming out. Hopefully they're coming out with it. And the some select advisors were allowed to order them first in limited quantity, and then we were allowed to order more. And so some other, advisors have reached out that they wanted them and are excited to see them on the line. And then I had some scrappy friends reach out to me and say, hey, can I get one of those? And the answer to that is yes, and they are still available. The bundle is $166.50, and how that works is, since you can't get it on the Creative Memories website, I will order it for you so I can send you an invoice. So I'm going to use it today, and you're going to see it, and if you decide it's something that you want, you can just let me know. If you don't live in Port Orange, then I can just have it shipped directly to you, especially because it's free shipping right now. So it's $166.50, but you save $8.95 on shipping right now because it's free shipping on orders over $100 until Friday at noon. Okay, well, here's a project recipe, and if you've never seen one before, this is what they look like. We've got a 2-page spread, we have a detailed drawing of what it looks like put together, and we have a cutting guide. Now, whenever I show this every month, I do not use the paper in embellishments that are featured, and that is on purpose so that you can see how these can be collected, what an asset they are, because you can use them for other pages. And I usually every month, I don't know if I've ever, sometimes on Tool Time I don't do a retreat, but I usually do a 2-page spread of a past retreat, and I'm kind of going in order and trying to catch up. So this is January 2023, catching up there. So that's the retreat I'm doing. I'm going to use one of the new embossing folders that comes with the bundle with the new little guy, and I'm going to use one of these dies for my title. So let's get to a cutting. So I am just going to use a white background, and I need to have my trimmer handy here to cut. Now I've looked ahead, and I've just looked at wherever the blue is where the blue paper is on the cutting guide. So that kind of helps me visualize. I look at it, I look for the words where reverse, because I know I'm going to have to use the reverse on 2 of these, and I want to make sure that both sides of the paper are going to work, because sometimes they don't. And so the peach color is also featured here. So basically that's the circles and one matte, and there is one reverse, and that's the matte is the reverse side. So for that, I've chosen this blue sheet. It's got a gradient of blue, and I think that's gonna work well. So for this sheet, the first sheet, I'm going to use this because we're in Mount Dora, and between the yellow building and the sunset, we've got yellow and oranges and flowers and blue of the lake and blue of the sky, and I think that's gonna work. So our first cut, going from left to right, is a 1/2 inch. I'm going to, it doesn't really matter. I like to look at my patterns first to make sure that it doesn't matter which side I cut on. So when it's a small cut like this, I like to cut this way so that I have more of the paper lined up against the top or the bottom for stability reasons. So this first line is the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Now in this, it doesn't really matter which side I cut next from, but sometimes it matters for the pattern. You need it to continue, so then you would want to flip it around. But in this case, it doesn't matter. So my next cut is 5.5 by 12, and that is just to the edge of this trimmer. So I'm going right to the edge of the trimmer, and that is my 5.5 cut. And then I have a 2 by 12 and a 2 by 12. Although it doesn't say it on the D, sometimes I think they just forgot to list it there. So make a note if you think you'll forget, but it looks like it's the same size. So I'm going to go 2 inches and 2 inches. Now I'm not sure if the embossing is going to show up on this, but these are the pieces when I was looking ahead at the sketch, I thought, oh, I'll use those in the embossing folder. It already has the leaves. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I want to play with it, so we're going to try it. All right, and then this is 1 3/4, so this is just going to take a little bit off, and that's what's shown here on the side. There's a little piece that doesn't get used. So 1 3/4 by 2 3/8. So hopefully you know where your 2 3/8 is, but if not, there's a little bit of forgiveness because you don't use the whole thing, but it's not the smallest lines, it's the next smallest lines, and you want to go over to basically the one right before the halfway. I probably made it even more confusing if you're one that is confused with the measuring. I might have muddied the waters. Okay, next we are going to, this says adhere border M, then trim. Okay, gotcha. So what the directions are saying is to punch a border with this one. We didn't even talk about it. It's saying with black cardstock, but I'm going to use white cardstock. And you're going to mount it on top of here and then trim off at 2 3/8. Now that's interesting that it's exactly the same. Oh, I see. It goes flush. It's a little bit thinner. All right, gotcha. So 1 3/4 on that one. Now 1 3/4, I can go this way, and whenever I have a cut that is less than 1 3/4, that is what I do, because again, for stability. All right, and now it's not going to really matter. I'm actually gonna go this way. No, I'll keep cutting the right way. All right, so now I need to cut it 4, and then I need to cut it at 2 6. So it's not 1 3/4, so we're gonna go 2, and then I need to cut a 4 by 6. Perfect. I haven't decided which side I'm going to use yet of this one. That's the one that has some reverse. The rest of this is just going to be circles. You can see I'm going to have some leftovers. Let me grab the custom cutting system next. Now it says it's a 4.5 inch circle, and that's the outside small circle with the blue blade. So I want the small circle, blue blade, and then 3 inch circles are the inside of the large with the blue blade. So outside of the small, inside with the large. This is just scrap. That's this little piece of scrap. I'll just tuck that over there. So inside with the blue, and that they should be able to sit next to each other. Now the blue is going to cut about 1/2 inch in from this little trough, so I can actually kind of of course you can't see it because that is in the way. I can kind of go off the paper a little bit with the template, and then so this is going to go around. And if you have the old blades and you're watching this is your permission to get the new ones. They spin so that you don't have to contort yourself in a crazy way. Now, there definitely is room for this right here, but this is not a cut for the faint of heart, because it is going to be a close shave. but I did it because I have been using the custom cutting system since the year 2000. All right, so same thing. I need to leave enough room here for this blade because it's going to come out from the template. Because I remember I'm doing outside of the small and then inside with the blue. All right. And those are, whoops. I'm going to put these back because these little babies are small enough that if I don't put them back and put them in their little case, my scrapbook area becomes messy enough that I will lose those little babies. Okay, now I need to find a piece, since this is just kind of a scrap. I need to find, all right, okay, I have a piece of white cardstock. I was hoping to find just like a strip of one. Now, this could be exciting if this, so I unpacked from a crop recently and this punch was broken. It happens sometimes. I saw in some different Facebook groups how people had fixed them. So I tasked my husband with doing that and I did it. And now I need to ask him what glue he ended up using because he glued it. I think he just glued it. And then he clamped it, and it clamped for like a couple days. Now, the way these punches work, when they're closed, there is a lot of pressure on this area back here. So I've kind of been afraid to keep it closed. But I'm so happy to have my scissor punch back because when I opened up, I bring my punches, you know, to use at crops for people to use. I was so sad when it was broken and I wasn't sure what happened, if it just like spontaneously combusted or if somebody accidentally dropped it or what happened. But at the end of the day, it was apart in two pieces. Excuse me while I have a sip of my afternoon seltzer. I love Spindrift. So this is a tangerine, but I'm having it in my mug from Helen, Georgia. Every afternoon I have a big, it's 32 ounces. In Helen, people have it with beer. But at home, I just like to have it with, I blend up some collagen and I mix it with my Spindrift so that it's a little bit of a afternoon protein drink, and it's delightful and refreshing. And I think of fun Helen retreats. That's my story. We are returning to Helen. I have signed the contract. So, if you haven't heard, you will want to be on the lookout for that. All right, so we got that tiny little piece. So this is one of those layouts that looks like we're using a whole piece of paper behind, but it's not. It's a little... Now, I kind of threw myself because in these layouts, the orange piece is this flower, and maybe I'll do it that way. Okay. What's F? Sometimes I have to go back and look at what's what. Did I forget to trim something? It's possible. I did that 1 3/4, but did I forget? Oh no, wait. Just talking to myself. I think I might have forgotten a cut. All right, let's look here. We got the big one. Hold place. This is A, B, C, D, E, This is F, but I forgot to trim it to 1 inch. So let's do that. Let's do that to 1 inch. It's like, this is not working out. Okay. All right, back to the assembly here. I haven't decided yet which way I'm going to do this. And let me look here. Yeah, it looks like those are both the reverse. So that can be green. And then this, really, because of the well, let's see. There's not a huge contrast in these colors, but there is one. It's just a matter of me deciding which way I want it to go. And which way we want to do this. Alright, so that's how that's going to look. Let me lay out this other one really quick before I commit to... So this one is a long piece, and that's going to go like that. And then the D is the reverse side. Oh, this little piece goes down here. Is that right? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm probably going to have to keep that on the green side, or we're not going to see. It can be subtle, I guess. I have enough of the blue. I think I could switch it to blue. Let's not get crazy. All right. Oh, no, wait. No, what is that little piece? Oh, that's E. That's E. All right. Crisis averted. Because we're going to put the this goes down here. That's what that is. And then this gets cut off. That is a little light. See, now I wish I had thought ahead on that, but that looks good. All right, so now that I have an idea of how this is going to all play out, and the reason I wanted to do that first is I wanted to make sure with the reverse sides that everything was gonna work out okay. Now, I get to play with the fun embossing folder. This is part of the new what CM may potentially come out with. Now, it would have been good if I could have cut this a little I don't know if it could have been a little shorter, which, you know what, I could trim it. After all, these little pieces are just butting up to here, so it's not going to affect anything if I make this a little bit smaller. Let's see how this looks, and then we'll decide if we need to just cut off right there so that we don't have the top parts of these are little cameras. So this is a little embossing folder with cameras. And one of the things I like about, again, this is a prototype, so, but one of the things I like, and I own a Sizzix, I own a Gemini, I own many of the things, so I feel like I'm qualified to have an opinion on these things, is that they're labeled. So for people that haven't been using these things for years and years, I think you're really going to find that helpful. Creative Memories also has this little rubber tip tool to get off all the little things. I keep trying to wipe this off, the little shutter flower, but that is printed on there, and that's what I'm talking about. It's so nice. So it says cutting base plate, and we're not going to use the cutting base plate, even though I just wiped it off. Hello. See, this is why they're labeled, because if I'm being completely truthful, I am a person who has exploded a Sizzix, a Big Shot. Yep, I exploded it, and I said to my husband, "Can you fix this like I do?" And he said, so this says the universal top plate. So that is the top of the sandwich. If you're familiar with this, it's called a sandwich. And this says embossing base plate, and it is thinner than the cutting plate because you don't need it as thick as you do when you're cutting to just emboss. And I recommend not putting it on top of your project. Let's not do that. Although, and these little wings fly out. And now I will say this is so easy. I was worried because, again, maybe I did explode a Big Shot, so maybe my sandwiches are just in general too thick. But I mean, I'm not sure that this print is, or can you see it, is really the best thing. But it's just a little bit of an emboss, and I do like it a lot. I don't think it bothers me that the tops are there. I think I'll do the other one the exact same way though. So that when they're across from each other on the page. So I've got my universal top plate, I've got my bottom, and you'd definitely be able to see that better. But I can't tell you how easy this is. Oh. It is so nice. Because I know a lot of, the punching and stuff for some ladies, like if you have arthritic hands, that's hard. Okay, well, I love that, and I love how embossed things feel. Not gonna lie. All right, so I'm gonna put this away for now, but I am gonna come back to it to cut out Smile. I just want to see what color to do it in, if I'm going to do it in white. And it's just so cute and portable. And I love, Friday I was saying I see faces and things, and so to me this just he's so cute. I want to give him a little nose. I don't know, he's got a little sideways smirk or something. I know, I'm odd. But if you're not new to this, then you already know that. If you're not new to this channel. Alright, so let's start laying this down. Now it would help if my paper were on here, because I do find it helpful to use the measuring on the side. This is also one of the products that over the last 25 years has gotten an upgrade, this cutting mat, because it used to be 10 by 12, which of course doesn't fit a 12 by 12, and now the numbers are on the outside. Of course, the old version, it had the grid pattern, but it didn't even have measurements on it. So the new version is much better. So check your stash. If your custom cutting system blades do not rotate, and if your and if your mat is 10 by 12 and doesn't have the measurements on it coming out here from the side, because again, it helps me anyway, just to be straight. See, this one's crooked because I didn't have that, but now I have the other one. What did I just do? Now I have this other one, and thank goodness I only have repositionable tape at arm's reach, because my go-to is actually regular, but when you're doing a layout like this, it is super helpful. To use repositionable. in case you need to move things around. All right, well, I'm liking it already. And we haven't even finished yet. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put the scissors. Why scissors? Well, it is a retreat. These are retreat pictures. And so I decided that the scissors, plus I hadn't tried them since Brendan fixed them. And he asked me, like, hey, have you tried the scissors? And I was like, no, I haven't tried them yet. I was kind of afraid, honestly. But yeah, good news. We're good. I at least got one border out of it. All right, so now I'm supposed to cut this at 2 3/8. And have another sip of my delicious afternoon collagen. 1 2 3/8. All right. So that is going to go right here. And I need some adhesive here on this end of this. Okay. And then this is going to connect over to the other side. And I'm going to line these up. This is where it's helpful, and I do have 2 of these, but my little studio space isn't wide enough. But I like to lay them next to each other so that I can do this and make sure that my top lines up. Let me go ahead and add my adhesive. And then our embossed piece, which I know it's hard. It doesn't really translate, especially with this print on camera, but I can see it and feel it, and it is really cool. Oh, this one goes over here. And this one comes over here. I think that's where I'll put smile. I might do it like, well, I guess the circles, although it really doesn't matter, I did with the plaid. This one goes over here. I'm kind of doing them on an angle like this because that's the way the patterns are, although this one is kind of straight up and down. So let me turn that. Again, glad I'm using repositionable for that. All right, and the last thing we have to do is add this, and then we can add our photos. Okay, so this recipe calls for 2 3 4x6s that are straight up and down, and 2 basically landscape. However, I always print, there's a big wide open space over here, so I always print at least one extra picture, so we can incorporate as many. So of course I've got a group picture. We took 2 group pictures, and then I do a thing at my retreats where I recognize people for how many retreats they've been to. So Stacy, this was her 30th retreat, and this was Carla's 20th retreat, and this was Melissa's 10th retreat. And so I was able to recognize both of them. Here's another group photo we have on the lawn of Lakeside Inn. Then when I was going through the pictures, of course, you know, I just do 1 2-page spread for my retreat book, but there was a ton of other pictures, and I mean, I could probably do an album of every retreat, but boy, that cheesecake looked really good. Maybe I was hungry. And then there's another little sunset picture that I thought I could oval. So beautiful. And one of the nights in Mount Dora, we always dress in white because it looks so pretty on the lawn with all of us in our white. So I think that'll do it. So I think I'm going to circle that one and then trim these up. All right. So where's my cutting guide? Famous for covering the cutting guide. Yeah, so these are 3 4x6s, so I don't really need to do anything with them. I can just stick them right down. And then this one also. Now they're supposed to butt right up, so something, either my pictures, so I had to print these from my selfie printer because now I want to use regular tape. And I have one, see, the green is repositionable, and I have 3 green, one of them's empty, 2 of them are not empty. So I guess repositionable it is. So I'm going to just leave a little bit of white around because it seems like maybe the selfie paper is slightly less than 4x6. Now this is supposed to get trimmed. Now I've mentioned before I like a thin mat, so I'm not going to trim too much off. I'm going to trim a little bit off the green side. And then we have the same mat all the way around. Okay, so that's page 1 and page 2. I think I just need the custom cutting system. I need to put these on. I'm going to match these up again so that they're the same. And I'm going to leave, oh, that's the empty one, goodness. I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between, just like on this side. It's hard for me to see these pictures. This is before I started running. This was January 2023. So I really started running in October that year. So nearly 3 years ago. And I think I was almost at my heaviest then. I mean, it's not hard to look at, but it's just, wow, makes me see how far I've come running all those miles. And thankfully my body has allowed me to keep running, because there was a time I could not. Blew out a ankle. All right, y'all saw me use the custom cutting system. I have not moved from this seat. And like I said, things disappear from my space. Okay, here we go. Found it. All right, so I definitely want to cut out this cheesecake, and I want to get the cheesecakes in the background here, or at least part of them. So I'm going to go with the red on the inside. And go around like that. Alright, so cheesecake memorialized. I honestly don't even remember if it was good. But I always tell people I've never had a bad meal in Mount Dora. And that is the truth. Now, which one do I want to use? You can use this oval, and the red blade and take it right to the end. Like, you are not going to lose much. And if you're unsure of how much you want, I think probably that size is good. See, we can put this cheesecake right there. All right. Mount Dora will also, of course, be returning to the retreat cycle next year. Ooh, you know what? I said that this one will fit on here. However, because these little selfie prints are a little bit shy of 4x6, it will actually go off. Now, sometimes I play with that and I put it on the edge of a page, but I don't think I can do that. So I'm gonna go with this one, and I'm not gonna use the red because the red gives you the smallest on the outside. I need to go a little bit bigger. I think I can get away with the blue. Now, when you buy these, you get little guides, and they're see-through, and you can plunk them down onto your page, and you know exactly where it's going to cut. But when you've been doing it for 20 years, you kind of know, and you also, I subscribe to the done is better than perfect. I mean, I was like, whew, I couldn't have done it any closer. Let's just say that. I kind of liked, so all the ovals in the custom cutting system have a slightly different oval-ish shape, if you know what I mean. So the one I used was this one, but you notice how this one is more, like, they aren't necessarily the same shape. I hope that makes sense. Like, this one is more round than this one. So anyway, I wanted to use this one, couldn't use that one. Done is better than perfect, and that's all I have to say about that. And I think that will go fine. Make sure that I'm using one that has adhesive. Don't forget to put the adhesive on all the pictures. Now, for some reason, if anyone is commenting, I cannot see. Let's see. And if you are watching, I would love to hear where you're watching from. And if this is your first time here, are you a first time caller or a long time listener? Oh, goodness. So almost an avalanche of my stack of things over here. Okay, so now that's almost done, I am going to add a smile here. And why not add a camera too? Because there's a fun little camera. And since I did the cameras on the embossing, oh wait, what did I do with that little piece? That goes over here. I almost forgot you, little friend. Okay. Yeah, see, that was necessary. Now, I kind of would have liked to have seen it continued all the way like those. And I could have moved this over. But then I don't have anything for that. Do I have any extra of that? I guess not. I used all of that paper. Well, maybe that is where I shall journal. Alright, so let's cut out using our new toy. And I haven't even used these. So this is the universal top plate, and this is the cutting base plate. And I'm going to do it in this blue. Now I could do happy memories. Maybe I want to do happy memories instead of smile. That's where that little sticky came from. Some sticky goobers. Oh, guess what time it is? It's 4. Time to go. But I hear my dog whining in the other room. And I mean, she, usually eats at 5. But she starts asking at 4. And then we see, whoever gives in to her. Okay, well, I guess I need to trim this, right? So this is 3 1/4. Measured it for someone, or just under 3 1/4, like 3 1/8. So I can cut this at 3. And I guess we decided, and by we, I mean me, that I'm going to do happy memories, because all of our retreats are happy memories. I don't know, can I get the camera on there too? We're gonna, this is how I explode things. Now, I'm like, let's try to get all the things on. Let's use up all the paper. And I'll probably see, you have the cute little, are these like little lenses? Can you add that to the camera maybe? Alright, so we got our sandwich. And if you missed it at the top, this is a Creative Memories, what's it called? When you, okay, see, my sandwich was thick. So that one was not as easy as the embossing folder, but no cracking. Haven't exploded it yet. Creative Memories, maybe they heard how I exploded a Sizzix and they were like, send this potential new product to this advisor, see if she can explode it. No explosions. And of course, if you have other dies, of course you can use them with this cute little new friend. Now I have adhesive on my whatchies. Okay, so I can go happy memories on here if I can ever poke out that. So I have the little small Sizzix too, the little baby one that's like what, 2.5 inches. So this is a little 1/2 inch wider than that. But I can tell you what, I definitely choose dies. I think maybe I'll split this over here, happy memories, across the 2-page spread. And of course, this is what the repositionable tape was born to do. Little things like this. Alright, so we got happy memories. I don't know where we're putting our camera. But maybe it should have been white, and then I could have put it somewhere else on the page. Oh, I think I see a spot. Oh, I bet that cute little heart fits in here. So we have a little camera punch. Remember the old camera punch? That has a little heart in the lens. That would look cute. Well, that doesn't look too bad there. It's a little darker blue. Little white heart might be cute. All right, let's get the memories on there and let's wrap it up. So if you missed it at the beginning, if you want to be one of the first people to get this, and I say that because hopefully Creative Memories will come out with this machine, and if not the machine, then at least, well, I guess they have to come out with the machine because all of the plates and everything are geared toward the side. Now the most exciting thing I think is the 12-inch things, because being able to do that on a piece of paper for a border is amazing. And you know, they want to come out with dies too, 12-inch dies that are such a can you imagine a 12-inch die with the scissors, so that you don't have to store those big punches. Now I did not match that up to make sure that was the same level. Shame on me. But I love this little thing already. I mean, I don't know if it can surpass. Oh wait, I did have a little piece of this, but it's not thick enough. I don't know if it could surpass the Border Maker system in my heart, but there's room in my heart to love more than one Creative Memories tool. Okay, these are not even. This is why they should have been next to each other. I guess I have to move Happy down. Again, thank goodness for repositionable tape, because if I had done that with precision point adhesive, that would not have worked. Okay, we got our Happy Memories in there. Oh, now I see Kimberly and Cheryl. Well, thanks for joining. I see your comments now. And yeah, I think that came out great, if I do say so myself, with the help of some fantastic Creative Memories tools. See, what did I use today? I used a border punch, I used the trimmer, I used a custom cutting system, and then I used this new, I think we should name him. I don't know, and I don't know why he's a he, but he looks, I don't know, the way his expression is looking at me is like, please don't make my sandwich too big. Please don't explode me. All right, well, that is it. Our project recipe is done. Of course, I need to go back and journal, add them to the albums, and goodness, I've lost my retreat list is not. I would say, well, this was after 50, so I guess that's I don't know, 50, maybe 55. Anyway, we are coming up in October on retreat number, let's see, 70 was Mount Dora. Then 71 was Lakeland, 72 was Helen, so 73. Crazy how they add up. Well, I hope you will join us for one of those if you've never joined us before. We do have such a lovely community of women who have been scrapping together for a long time, but we love meeting new scrappy friends, and so hopefully you will join us. And I guess that is all for today. Thanks for joining me at this new time at 3 p.m. We're going to keep rolling with the 3 for now.